I can't believe it. This unkempt-looking guy. Again the bat of a plutocrat. Rich famous in Korea. On a day, suddenly this fate fell from the sky. When the family rushed to find you. But even more unsuspecting behind. This is the plot of The Brothers. With other parents. From there, he's caught up in the family struggle. The same near-death chases. What is the hidden truth? Let's watch the movie. To know the truth of the matter. Marco is a hybrid. Mother Philippine CA Korean origin. Pay for the cake and dive. Lay like you are called Capino. It's just a little bit above the TikTokers at the bottom of society. Marco has a poor life. With a seriously ill mother, you become a boxer. You fight in illegal arenas. To make money to cover. However, due to his Capino status, Marco is always despised and only a small amount of money. I had to ask Uncle Kim, principal of a school for Capino. Fine tongue, the father cut off contact a long time ago with the intention of asking him to pay my mother's surgery. Too depressed, I went to the leading European house. To try your luck, use all the money you've earned. Bet on the ball. This time a guy comes to talk to me. I know you're a great fighter. They desperately need money. He's got you involved in a mission. Stealing jewelry, just sneak in, disconnect the power and distract the guards. He'll give you 10%. Enough for your mother to have surgery. That night the team I bet on lost big. I can't hope for these red and black games. Marco agreed to the Western Feathers mission. I didn't realize it was a trap. Thanks to trained reflexes. You're lucky to dodge a risk from behind. Recognize, I was surrounded by more than 10 men with iron rods. Marco also kept responding by strong lines of authority, but they're too numerous and aggressive. Marco panicked and pulled out his gun. I found a gun without bullets. He threw a gun at a guy nearby. Then run away hard. Suddenly a car crashed into Marco. Make you fall down the road. Owner of the car was a Korean girl who rushed down to ask Khan. You see, the thugs had to retreat. Marco was taken to the testing institute. Fortunately, the situation is fine. He was also paid a sum by the girl. She was surprised that he spoke fluent Korean, but after realizing and saying it turns out you're a Capino, Marco was upset to leave. When I got home, I suddenly got a phone call. Your father is looking for you. For the fate of a Capino that says, it's a rare stroke of luck. Your father seems to be in a hurry. I want my two fathers to be reunited. A lawyer from South Korea came on his father's behalf. All the necessary procedures have been taken care of so that I can fly back to Korea as soon as possible. It happened so suddenly. That made Marco uneasy. Leave the sick mother at home. But they sent someone to take care of her. Finally, he still decided to get on a plane to fly to Korea. Right now in Korea. Director Hanisakai details. When you see the news reports, I am about to inherit illegally. I got a call from a lawyer in the Philippines. He approached the father. He said that the boy fell. I remember being on my way here. So I'll try to hold on until then. On the plane when everyone is asleep. Only Marco is awake. In business class, a strange man suddenly started talking to me. Marco even claims to be your friend. He didn't understand anything. He asked, does Marco know why he came to Korea? It's not very strange that things happen so easily. The last Saudi for leaving. He came to my area and said something. Marco was momentarily skeptical about this trip. Yours, but Marco doesn't know that. This man is also known as a gentleman. It's a killer. Always in a polite manner. With luxury brands. But killing people is not bad. Marco just got off the airport. The lawyer called the girl who ran over Marco. You said you wiped out all traces. Looks like we've never been there. However, you're with a schoolgirl watching them remotely. The girl looked at Marco's pictures, not just the body. After being asked, then tell the Kia girl to do it. Then ask her, give me a box. He said it was just a precaution. Marco is quickly led to a car. Then they left. They didn't go to the main road. It's a small road in a deserted area. It's surrounded by trees. Director Honcho's subordinates brought to men. One of them is his father's friend. The other is the editor of the newspaper. He has filed a lawsuit against his company. Very quickly, Director Han gave those two names. Join the missing people. Mysteries on the road. Marco came to see Dad. I thought the guy's car was chasing me too. He motioned for Marco to fasten his seat belt, but Marco doesn't understand the logic at all. The police officer pulled a gun and shot the driver. The car lost its steering wheel and crashed into the edge of the forest. He dealt with the living quickly. The car was alone. Mark survived. I stumbled out of the car. I can't believe the guy is waiting outside, with a very elegant posture. My friend, are you scared? I have a question. Why do you do that? I got the answer that. If I don't explain it now, I will. You will know when you die. It turns out that on the plane the gentleman came to tell you. You came here to die. And then he laughed devilishly. Marco then turned his back and dropped his pants. You run for your life. Find a way out of the forest. But did not expect he was driving a billion-dollar car. Marco runs to exhaustion. He was even teased by the enemy. I risked my life to jump off the bridge. I almost got run over by a truck. The man stood on the bridge laughing. And then he jumped over. The two continued the chase like Tom and Jerry. Until Marco ran out of the tunnel. Then the rain makes you cough. You should stop watching. He's very sick. Just let Marco escape. It was almost ruined by the rain. He is lucky and still handsome. Over here, Director Han's men found the van. Marco an accident. He was angry when he found out that he had lost his job. Back to being kidnapped. A call from the gentleman called. In a moment, Marco's life suddenly soared. Worth $10 million. But Hanisa can't. Easy to lose $10 million because of such ignorant juniors. He personally brought someone to take my brother back. Marco is now in the middle of the city. I went to a phone booth. Press call for the phone number above. The lawyer's card. I can't believe it was the Kia girl. Know your place? She smiled and immediately drove away. Marco made another phone call. Kim at home. But only a few words. The shadow of the gentleman's car appeared again. Marco sees you as a demon. Immediately fled to a small alley. The guy's car is stuck all the way. He opened the ceiling and climbed out. Then speed up the chase. Playing cat and mouse with Marco. Marco runs on the shore. When he thought he was gone, the prince appeared. Smiling and jumping down the road. Ask Marco to cooperate, or I'll shoot you in the head. Marco saw the situation and raised his hands to surrender. The gentleman was very pleased. You take a step forward. I was suddenly punched in the face by Marco. Then run away. The gentleman staggered standing, waking up without forgetting to swear with a sunny smile. Marco couldn't stop now. The girl's car brakes in front of him. It reminds me that the gentleman is chasing behind. Marco didn't think much. Get in the car and escape death in a hurry. The man went back to get the car. The lane is too narrow. I stepped back in pain. Sorry for the new car. Marco kept asking the girl what was going on. The girl in the car was an acquaintance. Yourself, who stabbed you in the Philippines the day before. Suddenly saw Hanisa's convoy driving back. Girl flashing headlights constantly to get attention. As both cars intersect. The girl laughed. But what caught Hanisa's attention was, Marco is sitting right next to you. I immediately turned to chase. Girl, let Marco know. The name hanging behind him is Marco's brother. The same person who hired you. And Lawyer Kong arrested him, but you didn't do it right. At this point the reckless girl turned the car. To avoid via touching, Hanisa's convoy immediately drifted to both sides. Girl advantage speed ahead Hanisa. Your car. The guy also blatantly launched through Hanisa. A series of cars chasing each other on the vast road. 3 different purposes, but the same goal is to get Marco. The gentleman's car successfully approached. And not only that, but he also greeted the two of them. When she saw that, the girl shook her head. He looked up and almost got out. Because a truck suddenly came rushing in. I swore for an hour and then got serious. The girl quickly turned into the forest, successfully distracting the assassin and Hanisa's convoy. But she suddenly stopped in the middle of the forest. Makes Mark wonder, you didn't say take me to see my father. Right now, she just said give Mark all your intentions. It turned out to be exactly what the gentleman said. I really came here to die. His father is the chairman of a large corporation in Seoul. He has a heart condition and is dying. When your father is dimly conscious, Hanisa's stepmother played a trick to get him to seal his will. As long as your father dies, all corporate assets will belong to the stepmother. And Hanisa will lose everything. So Marco's older brother is very rushed to find you. What he wants is Marco's heart. Mark was still staring at the truth. She put a gun to your head. Her job is to kill you. Before Hanisa went to replace Tim Cho's father. Because she's already taken money from the enemy. At this moment the gentleman's car suddenly rushed. Crashed right into her car, flashing opportunity. Marco said goodbye to one and ran away. The girl saw that and fired at him. But the results still let Mark she ran away to Spicy. She turns to continuous shooting at the gentleman, makes you feel bad about the car. While the girl was loading, you've been holding a gun to her head ever since. The prince is still seeking compensation, before sending her to heaven with a bullet. Marco must now be called the Lord of Black Luck. When you avoid the melon skin, you meet the just got off the main road. Then I met Hanisa's people. Surrounded by the eldest brother, there is no escape. Marco has Theo Hanisa back home. My brother gave me a bracelet. And gently wipe your face with saliva. Here Marco meets Director Han's sister. 2 people. They don't like each other and always fight. The plan has failed 7 times. The sister goes into the room and pulls out Riz's body box. Then swear a word. I finally met the father I had always wanted. But Marco is dead now. It seems like the eldest is very happy that the whole family is reunited. Special. Take a picture of his phone as a souvenir. Then turn your face like a waffle. Cold. Get Marco's handler and give him an injection. You're on the operating table, CA. The surgery took 9 hours to complete. Hanisa immediately arranged more people to guard. Then take a shower. Who suspects during surgery? Something unexpected happened. Marco should still be in a coma. Suddenly I woke up a doctor. Immediately ordered to re-inject. How did he hit the chief doctor? Two guards saw the situation unraveling. Go back to check and be eliminated immediately. It turns out that the gentleman changed his job to be a doctor. Assassin. It took down the entire bodyguard. In a fast way, I'm going to call Marco to wake up, Grandpa. He praised Marco. There's nothing wrong with that. The drug woke up so fast. Suddenly you pull your gun out the door. That's the intuition of a professional assassin. Both prepare to escape. Hanny S.A. learned of the incident through the monitoring screen. The same group of people with guns stopped at the entrance. I thought I couldn't escape. I can't believe the gentleman looked at Marco with a smile. We're going to get out of here by the front door. Then grab Marco's head and take him out. Hanisa did not dare to move now. Dear, repeat the request. Ask Hanisa to transfer $10 million as before. You know how much $10 million is? Korean, of course. At today's exchange rate, it's 11,875,500,000. Han Isa was embarrassed because he was right. Not even for that. Bargaining in the middle of a fight. My half-sister shows up. Put a gun to Mark's head. You want to get rid of me? Fortunately, the man found out in time. He immediately dragged Marco into the room. Then there's the shooting rampage. Hanisa goes crazy and asks the boys to stop, because there's his father inside. The police officer was also slightly injured this time. His face hurt as if he had been shot for the first time. Unfortunately, the president was also shot. $10 million in flying colors. What's wrong with a little glare? The situation is getting more critical. Hanisa and her men broke through the door. Taking advantage of the dying president, you guys put pressure. So Hanisa has to transfer $10 million to me right away. I see the situation is critical. Hanisa finally had to compromise. He called someone to transfer $10 million to immediately after breaking the phone. Then this transaction was a success. The prince let go of the hostage Marco Cho Hanisa. Before Marco was taken away, he winks playfully. Then speak in a local voice. You're not going to die today, don't worry, trust me. Hello everyone, I'm going to spend 10 million, be careful. Who let a guy blackmail? I go so easily. Bad reputation will follow a lifetime of nonsense. He said he would rather lose his face than lose his life. I'm the expert, think about it. He suddenly shouted at Mark to lie down. And then, as fast as lightning, snatched the enemy's gun. And then they're shooting one by one. The boy was shot and fell suddenly. The situation is extremely chaotic. If you showed all the small guns, you steal the big guns. The gentleman plunged into melee. Use everything you can as a weapon. Your followers only know how to stand. Even the gun in front of me missed. Hanisa tried to get a gun. He shot 2 times but failed. I don't know how long. The man, covered in blood, is still standing. And Hanisa's juniors have all fallen. You took a gun and gave Hanisa a shot in the stomach. The room became a ruin. You guys are lying around that guy. 1 scratch. Hanisa is now scrambling to the sofa. He had to admit it. The gentleman is an expert. And then he didn't get over it, follow his men. That's what a bloody fight is. The young man remembered it now. My leg is injured. I can't help but groan. Marco looked back at the gentleman. Immediately speak up. Don't worry, those people have nothing to do with you. Marco then helped him out but was 3. Tai also met Titus Day. My half-sister is still standing outside. By all means accept Marco. The man pointed to the scratch and said, I'll forgive you. Get out of the way. The entire property belongs to you. Go back to the party with your mom. But her sister still won't let go of Marco. I fear that one day you will return to the property. Marco stepped up angrily, gave her a Dow tarp. Don't even touch that dirty property. She still doesn't believe. He insisted on hiring the gentleman to kill Marco, all the way to tell the truth. Turns out it's all just a spectacular trick of mine to take $10 million from Anissa. He knows he's trying to find his brother. The man went to Mr. Kim. Asked to find a child. He looked like the son of a tycoon as a kid. Just be strong in the spirit of steel, because to save a school for orphans. Mr. Kim gave Marco Raw to the gentleman. That's why we set up the fight scene and hit the car. At first in the Philippines. The main goal is to get Marco to the hospital. The prince successfully swapped test results from the doctor to trick Anissa. It's a meticulous and perfect plan. And Marco, after learning that he had been duped, from the beginning to the end I was angry. But the prince comforted me. Amount of 10 million, Kia, including your mother's pre-surgery. Not better than robbing a bank. I know how Marco feels. You are also a Capino. At this moment, the gentleman suddenly coughed up blood. It turns out you have a disease in you. Before I die, I want to do something good. The money was brought back to build a school for orphans. Children whose fate is Capino like you. Marco's mother also had successful surgery. Finally, the two of them went for a walk. I cough a lot, I feel like I'm about to go. I can only get through the day with drugs. The man wants to shake hands goodbye. They said this was the last time they would meet and advised Marco not to kick the bet anymore. Understand you. Marco's friend cruelly said, friends, this monkey. I don't have much time. The end of the movie. The doctor went to the Philippine doctor. Because suddenly the disease turned good. The doctor said you are not sick. Previous manifestations are only due to sudden cessation of smoking. And those pills are just vitamins. Then there was, I advise you not to go to the underground clinics anymore. People have always cheated others. Finally, one day someone will fool you. He laughed ironically. This movie is the end. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel to support us. Don't forget to turn on the notification button so as not to miss the exciting videos in the future. Hello and see you later.